There is a lot of buzz around humanoids in logistics. So in today's episode, we're gonna dive into the benefits of humanoids in logistics processes. So stay with us and enjoy.
Automation Awakenings, your weekly dose of best practices for logistics automation.
Welcome back to another episode of the Automation Awakenings podcast. And also welcome back, Oliver Zuchowski, to our Stuttgart studio.
Matthias, thank you very much. It's great to be here again. And I have to say Happy New Year, because I feel that the year just has started.
Yeah, in terms of Automation Awakenings and our podcast, that's true. And you might have already noticed that we have changed our publishing schedule.
Yes, that's correct. So instead of bringing news every week, we will switch to every 2 weeks in the future. And why, Matthias?
Because we want to support you with your microlearning by posting more shorts on LinkedIn, on YouTube. So stay tuned, check out our channels, and enjoy the essentials in those shorts that we're going to post in the days to come.
Yes, I'm already looking forward to this micro-learning videos. But now let's take some time to dive deeper into a humanoid topic.
Absolutely. I think it's a very important topic to talk about the benefits, very specifically for logistics, because there is somewhat of a confusion out on the market whether humanoids will really also be implemented in logistics. And to structure it a bit better, we should apply a nice way to cluster our episode. And Olli, you had a really great idea before the recording on how to do it.
Yes, I would take the 3Ds to categorize our main topics today. And the 3Ds stand for dirty, dull, and dangerous.
Correct. And that's not something we have invented. That's something that a lot of experts out there claim to be areas of processes or groups of processes that in the future will be taken over by robots. So let's reuse this categorization for our podcast today. And let's start with dirty.
Let's talk dirty, Matthias.
Let's do this. So, what do we have as logistics processes that fall into the dirty section? The first thing that comes to my mind is the handling of totes and of waste that we have in logistics. So those totes, or empties, you can say, in all kinds of shapes, they might be polluted. They might be, how would you say that, Olli? They might be filled with oils, could be filled with chemicals or rests of chemicals. So handling them is really, really a dirty job and is putting humans out into a dangerous situation, of course, because you are having contact with these liquids, with these chemicals.
For sure, a very unpleasant situation, because these empties are often contaminated.
That's the word.
You were looking for contaminated.
Yes,
yeah, so
not filled. I mean, no one is filling oil into empties.
No.
But they're contaminated.
But
Thank
you will find oil in empties. And sometimes there's a lot of oil in boxes. And it's all over the place.
Right.
And you need gloves, you need special equipment to handle them and to wash them also.
Yes, exactly. So they are they are pushed into a washing machine, and after that they again have to be handled in a way. So so I think it's clear that using humanoids here would reduce the exposure of humans to these dangerous liquids, to these dangerous chemicals, and that would definitely help to reduce the number of dirty jobs in logistics.
And I think here we really have nice benefits of a humanoid, because many equipment like washing machines are designed to be managed by humans.
Yes.
So with a humanoid, you could just replace the person and handle the whole washing process. And with waterproof limbs like hands or arms, the humanoid could directly handle the whole thing. It might get even wet, no problem.
Yeah, so no adaptations or special retrofitting that is needed for your washing machine and the process itself, like the setup that you have. But let's move on. So what else do we have in terms of dirty processes in logistics? Second thing that comes to my mind is cleaning activities, cleaning operations that you have, that you run. Could be in logistics, could also be in the production area, but that's something that is really a tough job, isn't it, Olli?
Yeah, of course, nobody likes cleaning, and it's also might get dangerous. There might be toxic materials there, but I guess we'll come to that later on.
Yes, but just coming back to this, say, dirty process, since humans don't really love doing that activity, which I can totally understand, a humanoid would definitely help to boost the quality and also the level of performing this task. Because let's be honest, when humans are not motivated to do something, then the results usually are so-so. With the humanoid, this wouldn't happen. So for sure, boost of quality in your cleaning operations.
I have another area which is really dirty in logistics, and this is waste management.
Oh, yes.
Also here, nobody likes to handle waste, a perfect area for a humanoid.
But in more specific, Olli, do you mean like sorting waste or transporting waste, or where do you see the humanoid coming in?
Yeah, well, of course, you can discuss if the transport of waste will be done rather by some other mobile robots colleagues, but for sure topics like sorting, camera-based recognition, things like that, where the humanoid really, the functions are really required, or the combination of different functions, and the handling of small parts within a waste management area, for example.
Understood. Perfect. So with this, let's move on to the next category. Your choice, Olli. Dull or dangerous?
I go for dull first.
Okay, let's go with dull. So in the end, jobs that are super boring.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely. And unfortunately, we still have several tasks which are really boring in logistics. The first thing which comes into my mind is driving a tugger train on long distances.
Yeah.
You're standing there, driving really slowly. People are walking by, are passing by even faster than you, and you are not allowed to use your phone or something, because you need to take care that everything runs well. But still, you're just standing there, sometimes for minutes.
Yeah, that's right. So repetitive transporting over long distances is for sure something that is a very, very dull job at the moment. My question would be, is that rather something for a mobile robot than a humanoid? Because in the humanoid scenario, the humanoid would probably sit on this tugger train, right?
Yeah, that would be the retrofit solution. You just keep your tugger train, put a humanoid there and driving around. I'm not sure if this is the best solution, but well, it's or a hybrid solution between a tugger train AGV and a humanoid, which then can do the job at the station.
Right, loading or unloading.
Exactly.
That's a good one, because today, I mean, there is solutions to replace manual tugger trains by automated tugger trains. But then you still have the question of loading and unloading the carts at the source or destination. So totally go here with you. That could be something that the humanoid could help with.
Yeah, and that's another boring, super repetitive task. Replenishment of boxes to a shelf, for example, which is often done together with the tugger train.
Yeah. Let's stick with stock replenishment. I think that's another area, like all over the place in a plant. that is quite dull. So certainly also a high potential for a humanoid usage, and the same goes for picking. Repetitive picking, repetitive replenishment. So everything that is really highly repetitive is definitely, or can be targeted by humanoids in the future. And I have one special process left that I always feel very, very unhappy about, because it is dull, and everyone who did it knows what I mean, and that's inventory taking.
Oh yes, sure. It's a must to be done. Also,
It is for sure a must.
legally a must.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work, a lot of manual work, and of course, a lot of things can go wrong when counting pallets and boxes.
Yes, absolutely. So inventory taking is totally something that needs to be automated in the future. There is ideas to do it with drones that are already out on the market. So kudos to the colleagues who are working on that. But also humanoids could be a puzzle piece in automating this very, very dull and frequently required activity that we see in plants and warehouses.
Then, of course, Matthias, I have the question now. What will happen with the cool inventory taking parties, which are happening usually at the year end in a lot of companies?
But do we do this? Tell me more. I mean, your time in Italy as a logistics lead, did you do those parties?
Of course. At the end of the year, all the logistics colleagues and a lot of operators from manufacturing gathered together on a nice pre-Christmas inventory taking party, actually.
Okay.
So we were counting inventories the whole day, checking the boxes, checking the amounts, checking the weights, for example. Was a lot of stuff to do, but still, we had some good pizza, olives, maybe also some wine. I'm not sure anymore. At the end, it was a nice social event.
Okay.
So I don't want that the humanoid does all of that in the future.
Well, you could keep the party, but let the humanoid do the counting before, and then maybe also serve you some drinks during the party.
Okay, then that's fine.
Yeah, just copy what Elon Musk is doing at the Robot, and use humanoids for dancing or food or drink serving activities. I think that would boost your party even more. Okay.
Cool.
Then I think we are good with the dull section. So let's take a look at the last category, which is dangerous. So there is a lot of dangerous activities in logistics, and I'm going to start with lifting loads.
In general.
In general, might be cartons that you lift from a overseas container onto a whatsoever conveyor belt to unload the container. Could be lifting pallets with a forklift to place them somewhere, to put them away. All of this lifting activity is problematic, and especially the ones that you do manually by hand. So we are back at the cartons example, because it's not very ergonomic, and it's quite dangerous in case the carton rips or it slips, and then it falls on your feet. It might injure this person, and so I believe that humanoids would bring a huge benefit in keeping humans away from these dangerous jobs and to improve ergonomy in the end.
Especially when doing these tasks outdoors, like loading and unloading of a truck, not with a dock, but really outdoor from the side. You have other truck traffic on this dock and yard, and actually the pallet can fall down, or parts of that, in every direction.
The issue with this example of replacing humans when operating forklifts to lift pallets is that, again, we have the question, how would this retrofit look like? Like,
Yeah.
would this be like a massive humanoid which has Inspector Gadget legs, so it just like, extends and then like zooms back with the legs to put something away, to put the pallet away, or would it sit on the forklift and operate it? I think there is still some open questions here, but for sure this lifting topic is a huge one, and we all know these YouTube videos with forklift drivers that fall asleep for a second and then run into a high rack, and the high rack collapses like all over the place. So that's dangerous.
Another dangerous area is if you have high or low temperatures.
Absolutely.
Yeah, imagine a factory where machines produce a lot of dust, also high temperature heat, and then you have to work there. And usually there you have a lot of manual tasks which need to be done by a human. So also a perfect playground to switch to a humanoid.
Yeah, let me also add this oily mist that you have in a lot of like heavy industry productions, right? So that's also something that I would count here. And I also would like to come back to my container example. So you get the container, the overseas container, it's loaded with cartons up to the roof. You have to unload it. And the container is not even standing inside the building, right? It's standing at the dock. So if it's summer, then it's baking hot inside the container. If it's winter, it's a fridge. And you have humans standing inside this container today and manually unloading those cartons.
All day long sometimes.
All day long, right. So that's very, very tough and also dangerous in terms of hydration and all of these things that might come with it. So maybe that's a reason why Boston Dynamics has already covered this one with the stretch. But I believe there will others join and also add new solutions to handle this particular use case.
All right, Matthias, do you have any other dangerous topics?
Let me check. Actually, no. I think that's the most important ones. So, well, again, we are just really touching the tips of the icebergs here. You could dive into all of them in more detail, but I think to provide our listeners a overview, that's totally good enough. And we hope you see it the same way. And we hope we see you back in 2 weeks on Monday for a next episode of the Automation Awakenings podcast.
See you there. Bye-bye.
See you.
This was another episode of the Automation Awakenings podcast. Visit us at automation-awakenings.com